me. I didn't want to lie. Started to cry, but then remembered I can buy myself flowers. Talk to myself for hours. Take my cup and say, and all my found myself flowers. Take myself and say, I can buy myself flowers. Talk to myself for hours. I don't. I put myself in say, and I can hold my the whole time's already. But we are going to, if it's okay with the audience, I've invited Tammy to be here today. I'm hoping it's okay if she plays an original for you. So I'm really honored and this is Nogojiwanong.
Thank you. This is a song that I wrote. This is called Me and My Old Guitar. So it kind of started to be around the campfire. And I wanted to play music because it brought a lot of happiness. So.
Me and my soul, number, just get back in line and say, put up the feet. Our set time is already up. We are gonna do one more.
I would like to express my thanks for being asked to come here and do this. I'm very honored to be asked, and I look forward to this event and usually do every year. My name is Alice Williams, and I live at Kirkley First Nation. I originally come from northwestern Ontario, a place called Trout Lake. And I've been here, this area now for 55 years. I also want to thank the ancestors of Anishinaabe who have looked after this land for thousands of years so that we can bequeath this land to our children, our grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We are thankful for the waters, the lakes, the air, the earth, for we are asked to keep this clean. Our ancestors kept this place for us, and we have been doing our best, but we hope that one day it will all be cleaned up and we can have our health again. We know that if our earth is sick and our air is polluted and our water is polluted, we cannot take in all the goodness that these beings have to offer us. Miigwetch kirikun kishemani do kakina kayaye. Miigwetch ayaye oma nungum kagishikak. Kaya emigo yang ke shikendameng anin ke aishi and endasukishik kapimati sing. Miigwetch hintinam nam nibe. Kaya kapakitanam dwan. Kaya kami jeng, kamin kwayeng. winge miigwetch je unje minobimapising. KWIC mikum kakina. Chiraye kuma kakwe minachigaying kwawak gawin pisan ayasigwa usaminiwag depende mo watch kakina kegun. KWIC mikum itash Nina Wind, Shikakwe, Wing, Kichi Amkiing, Chiunchi, Minoyang, Gakina, miigwetch.
I think we're gonna transition from Mara being on the radio to me being on the radio. Through the facilities of Trend Radio at 92.7 FM in Nogojiwanong, Peterborough, Canada. Thank you for sticking around and happy International Women's Day. Yeah. Protecting the layers with hope and honesty and holding ourselves sacred. I've taken some key notes here, the words that have really stuck with me through our conversation. At this point, I have two more questions that I will ask our panel at some point. But Jocelyn, how much time do we have devoted to this segment? I also have just been informed by Mara that that clock will close, which doesn't affect you, but it affects the radio. Okay, so we've got about 15 to 20 minutes. So at this point, I would like to invite anyone from the audience, if you have a question or a comment that you would like to make for our amazing panel, you could put your hand up, call on you, and come up and you speak right into this microphone and share your question with everybody.
Thank you, miigwetch, for your words and your wisdom. My comment is around privilege, especially for me, it's a little bit triggering when I hear Happy Women's Day. When I come from Mexico, a country where every 2 hours a woman is killed. So it's super hard to hear like Happy Women's Day, when like for us it's a day of protest and a day of fight and just like being outside, just occupying space and shouting and just creating havoc because of our sisters that are being murdered and that are being raped and that are being disappeared. So it's super hard for me when I came here to Canada. When I was like, okay, I want to keep going to rallies and I want to be part of the community. And I keep feeling like this happy vibe in this state that has so much hate. So it's kind of like a question, but also like from each of our privilege to try to think about what can you do to first be aware of that privilege, because it's not a happy Women's Day for everyone. And also, what opportunities do you have that others do not? And just as maybe your fight is about equal pay, for others it's, I don't want to be killed. And I want to be safe going like from my home to my school. So it's just like an invitation.
Thank you.
miigwetch.
So I think a small discussion on how we can better acknowledge the intersectionalities of privilege and where we stand in International Women's Day, and how can we better recognize our privilege and sit with that and do the work.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're so brave to get out and talk about something It's it hits a nerve, just like, yeah, and I always find a lot of times when I get up and speak, like I don't cry a lot in my actual real life, I should cry more, but it's like when I'm in a group setting where there's someone to bear witness to the pain, and it's like I feel like I take on the emotions of the room too, and it will come out. And it'll come out and drumming and like their emotions are happening. It just like, it comes out of me then. So thank you. Like, it's not easy. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Like what I said, for me, it's tricky. Like I am a white woman. I look like a white woman. No one knows I'm Anishinaabe unless they know, then you can see it. So but like this intersection of me at Martin Plan as well, he was like, I never want to speak over or speak in places or insert myself where I shouldn't, where my sisters who are more visibly Indigenous should be speaking. But I also feel the responsibility that it's like, they shouldn't have to step out of line because it's less safe for them to do so. So I will. So I try to be conscious of my privilege in that way. But things that do make this a happy Women's Day for me is like all that anger, the psychological terror that we go through. I do not move through public space and have not moved through public space a single day in my entire life since I was 14, whether I was 8 months pregnant, whether I was pushing a stroller. I am verbally, sexually harassed or leered at every single day. Like, and I think so many of us can speak to that. And so what makes me happy, what makes it a happy Women's Day is like that anger, like the anger and like getting scrappy and like fighting back. Like that does make me happy. Telling them to shut up. Like that makes me happy. You know, and I'm not talking about the little boys. We have to change, like be softer with the little ones for sure. But it's like, it's on us to call out our peer counterparts in our age group. And it's especially on women with more privilege, safety in this world, more investment in like the dominant culture to have those conversations with other people. And like what you were saying too about like at the university level, like it's up to the board and stuff like that. I think it really comes down to grassroots and the connections that we do have. You know, I have friends who are homeless and I have friends who are millionaires, and it's like, well, maybe it's on me to have this really meaningful conversation and paint this picture for someone who is not friends with a person who's homeless. So I think it really is on the dominant culture to make that up. It's not on people of color. It's not on our most marginalized. It's not on our trans homies to stand up for themselves. It's like, yeah, really take a lot of joy and happiness in our fierceness and our strength and our willingness to keep moving, even though it is scary. Like, it is scary. You were saying like that, I'm scared. I don't like, yeah, I've been here my whole life. I have like a family of 400 people. I'm scared. I'm scared every day. And like there's a rise of fascism, and one last thing I'm gonna get in here is free Palestine.
First of all, really well said. I agree with what you said, and especially the safety part of it, like walking from home to school. And I have gone through that, and so I understand how it's hard to just fear everything around you. And I'm just glad we're here recognizing that. That's one step towards it, at least, and recognizing in all settings and recognizing the opportunities we're getting right now I'm getting right now to talk to you guys about it. That's one thing, but I understand that not everyone is getting that. Maybe if not in this room, then not around the world, right? But I I don't know. I think just having this conversation right now makes me feel better, a little bit better about it. That we are self-aware and we want to take action.
Thank you for your comments, and that's true. There are in the whole world very sad actions against women all the time. I am from Mexico as well, and that is very sad situation that some group of people kill women almost every day. But you know, is that and is the small actions also that they are doing. Your comment during your comment, I thought when I was working in Mexico, the environment invites women to be like men. You know, you are not going to be a leader or a boss if your behavior is like very sweet or yeah, very nice. Don't yell to anybody. But no, we don't need to be like a man in order to be in a good position in the work or in the world. Men invite us to drink alcohol, because in that way you can be in the good position later, the good level of this work. It was good company. So imagine the other businesses that without rules, without human resources. I think in my perspective that we can do many things against that, but first of all, we need to say that we are living that kind of situations, because sometimes we are very quiet when that happens. So we need to say, okay, you don't want to hear me. Okay, I will go with the other person, as many as I can. And also, I don't have the numbers now, but statistically, there are more men in higher positions, politically, or in the business, or in the science, the researchings, that make us more vulnerable, because the rules are making by men, usually. So we need to encourage us to go to that areas. It's not only for men, also for women. And to be creative, to do rules, not only for men, also for us, to be more, to have more equity. Yes.
Thank you. I think a big part of that, it makes me think of the NCC's Living Library. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's giving people the opportunity to share their stories, because people don't know the privilege that we have unless someone shares with us what it's like somewhere else, or what it's like for someone else. Because what we see, what we experience is normal. So we have to share these stories. We have to create these spaces to share our realities. Do you want to say something else?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. One day, in the board of directors of the New Canadian Center, somebody, Angela, from the First Nation group as well, make us a test about privilege. I didn't realize that I had a lot of privilege in my own country. And that was very sad to know, because that privilege is only because of are a little whiter than others in my country. Because maybe I'm taller than others in my country. Maybe because I have the opportunity to study, to have my parents together, or to have house. I felt very privileged for that, but very sad because all of that details how makes me privileged. And also, I realized in that moment that here in Canada, I'm not privileged anymore. I'm part of the minor group. I'm not white anymore here because here are the real white people. Yeah, it's very important that we realize how privileged we are, or how privileged we are not, and support the people beside me to go beside me to go up in all the areas, because we don't notice that privilege. We said, oh, they chose me for leader this group. That's wow, it's because I've studied a lot. Maybe not, maybe because I'm whiter, maybe, yeah, some kind of things. So, okay, no. I'm here, they choose me for some reason, but it's my responsibility to turn around me and to see other women, other people, and okay, go together. Because now I have that responsibility for some reason, the privilege. Okay, but we need to go together with somebody else, with many people together, not only me. Okay.
I'm so very aware of the time because I'm a radio person. And there were two questions that were on the original list that the panel said that they wanted to answer, an opportunity to answer. So I'm going to ask both questions and I'm going to let you decide how you want to answer them, being aware of time. And the first question was about what role can men and boys play in accelerating action for gender equity, and how can we encourage their involvement? And the other question was, tell us about someone who has been an inspiration to you in shaping your confidence. So those are the two things that I think you can, have a huddle and decide who's going to go first and who's going to go last. But how do you feel, or how do you think that men and boys what role do they have in supporting gender equality? And is there a person who you think of who inspires you to be here today and inspires you to be
Quickly. Men and boys. Okay, so men need to hold one another accountable. It's not enough to just keep talking about it. Me Too was a long time ago, and it's like I feel like they're still stuck at the like, oh yeah, it's on us to call out our buddies in the locker room who said something horrendous about women. It's like, no, we need to, like, they need to be doing that. That's not on any woman to be doing that work. And like, get messy about it, guys. Step out of line. Like, what are you afraid of? You have so much privilege. Boys, I feel like we just need funding. They need to see themselves represented as emotional, vulnerable, sensitive humans, and like that is strength and power. And it's like, you just need to like pour that into them over and over and over, like overkill.
Yep.
And then I'll talk about quickly two people who really inspired me. The Indigenous artist, Daphne Ojik. I studied her work at Trent in the summer course. And what really inspired me about her was that she was a late bloomer. She didn't become this amazing artist till she'd had her 3 children and was like 38 years old when she did her first painting. And so like I always felt like I was on this arc to be a really late bloomer, and I was. Like I just started my career a year ago. And then like another local person who inspires me, who's really inspired me because they got really messy and pissed a lot of people off and kept picking themselves up over and over and over again, no matter how ostracized from the community they were. is my very dear friend, Candace Shaw. And like, I haven't agreed with everything that Candace has ever said, but it's like, she's like, that, she's been very impactful on my ability to be brave and like, keep going. And no matter what people think about you. So, and it's just like somebody, you have these people that are like always in your corner that say like, well, we got each other, right? And it's like, those are the pockets of relationships and the sharing of information that we need to honor and expand, and like little pockets, and we'll just fill in the tapestry locally, like it's sacred.
I think for the men and boys, I think you said it really well. I myself thought of the examples of the locker room conversation. So it's amazing that you brought it up, because it's a personal space where you can make harmless jokes, but they're not harmless, and they have so much impact in just the subconscious. So if you're standing up against those remarks in that space, it's fighting that internal stereotype, which is good. For role models, I also have to be very personal to me. I have my mom, because I think growing up, she was just mom that I saw taking care of me. But now, as I'm growing up into a young woman, I see her with her goals, her aspirations, and having those meaningful conversations with her that make me realize how alike we are. And I just learned so much from her every day. And
It's so funny.
Yeah.
yeah, she wasn't able to be here today because she had work, but she, like, before she left, all those texts, I'm so proud of you, I'm so happy you're doing this. So hopefully she sees. And second is my sister, who's making this video for my mom. Yeah. Yeah, the reason why she's my inspiration is because I see her growing up into a young woman, and I just want to impact her the way my mom did with me, and I hope she can grow, like she can have strong women in her life to learn from, to lean on, to see as examples that she can do it, whatever she wants to. So those are the two people.
One more quick thing, one more person. My daughter, Juno, beautiful, fierce redhead at the back. Started with her friends a youth climate action committee. Fierce and brave and focused on the right things at like such a young age, and it's like all three of my children made me so proud, but like I'm scared of you, June, and I like her. And you have such a beautiful heart too. There's so much kindness and softness, and I want you to be up here next year on the youth advisory council, or like in a few years. Like I want, yeah. So I love you, June.
Like to put together both questions, because one very important person in my life had been my father. He's 85 years old, and he has a lot of education, traditional education in his mind. But even with his behavior is sometimes macho, sometimes not. But even with that, I have had a lot of support from him all the time. What are you studying? Engineering? Okay, go. Yeah, because that is difficult for them to change their mind at that age. So it's very important, the support from men and boys, the support, the support to the women. Yeah, also it's a big part to encourage us to do many things outside. And not only that, with their help, with sharing task in the house, sharing task with the children. That help us also to have more time for us, the women, to do more things. Even it's only hobbies, they are very important to us. And well, people said that often choose we women often choose partners similar to our father. So my partner have been very supportive to me all the time, and thanks to him, I can work, I can study here again in Canada, and to do many things as a woman. I have something here. When men challenge traditional norms and often unwavering support, they empower women to pursue their dreams and break down barriers.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you once again.
Is there, we're not, yes, we will make time for you. Okay. Also, I lost an earring. If anyone sees this out there, I need mine back. Thanks.
I'm just wondering about this, men and boys stuff. You've all said how difficult it is to change your thinking. And it really is true. I mean, you just can't go to a lecture and receive some new news and realize that it's the right and proper thing, and then you're that new person. That's not how life works. It takes a lifetime. Anyway, you know, I don't give men or boys any credit. But, you know, when you think about that awful man Trump, how did he get in? And what I heard on the first couple of days in the news was that young white men, young Latino men, and young Black men, in their categories, they were the majority who voted for Trump. And I think, what the hell? What the hell? I'm really angry about that because.
You're angry. Your anger is beautiful.
Oh yeah, I forgot. All my life I've been told it's a hideous and horrible. Don't get angry. And we are Anishinaabe, and believe me, we're angry. And then, so I think, what do white people think? I mean, he's one of them. And, you know, Manitoba, the Premier of Manitoba is an Anishinaabe. And every time I hear him speak, and he at least twice I've seen him on television regarding Trump. And boy, does he speak well. And he was also the one who had the dump near Winnipeg examined. What's the word? What? Well, whatever. He dug it up anyway. They dug it up anyway. And the white guy who was in before him, they refused. And now they know that these Anishinaabe women are there. So we have a problem. Us Anishinaabe, we have a problem with our women being killed. Just like you said, And I think, how can we be so joyful? How can white women who are on our land, who bring their kids into our land and their grandchildren, blah, 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 they do nothing. Well, I don't know. It hasn't changed. And I was, and when I talk like this, you know, people notice I'm very angry, as if I'm very wrong to do that. I should be maybe placating them. I don't know, kiss their ass. I don't know. But what are we going to do? This is International Women's Day. Who is it good for? Think of all the Indigenous women all over the freaking world. Are they dancing and laughing and clapping and singing on International Women's Day? Who cares? It's the same old thing every day. In this time of reconciliation, you know what we want? We want our land back. We want our land to be loved and respected. We don't really mean they'll give us back Toronto. It's if we want their land that they've polluted. I always say to myself, and I've never said this publicly, where they piss and poop and spread their seed on our land. And I just wish they could respect our land, at least, at the very least. Anyway, I wish that I know that reconciliation now has died down. People aren't willing to go out and do something and be there. We go to your celebrations. And what has changed? Even your men haven't changed. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said. Thank you so much.
You could be sorry, maybe.
I'm also,
That won't help.
I'm appreciative as a, I don't feel like it's my place to acknowledge and take that space from you right now, but I appreciate your anger and I appreciate the knowledge that it's sharing with me and the understanding. I appreciate, as a white woman, being held to account. I'm so grateful for how uncomfortable I am right now, and for being shared this perspective. I do apologize from the bottom of my heart for not understanding these things at a young age and trying to learn them now to make a different future. And I appreciate your education. I appreciate your comments very much. Finally, I just want to repeat. There you go. So now it is my job to thank our panelists and to introduce Sarah Lewis to you. Sarah Lewis is an Ojibwe and Cree spoken word poet, mother, activist, model, filmmaker, and author for the Bird Lake First Nation. A proud Trent University alumna, she served as Peterborough's inaugural Poet Laureate and was recently named second runner-up in the first ever Miss Indigenous Canada pageant.
Sarah's work has been featured on TED Talks, CBC Arts, local news, and stages worldwide. Driven by a deep hunger for storytelling, she continues to explore new creative frontiers with upcoming endeavors in film and music production. Welcome, Sarah Lewis.
Miigwetch, I'm so happy to be here. And there's so many women in the room right now that I know and love, and I'm so grateful that they're here. I'm gonna share 2 poems today. And one of the poems, the first one, is about basically reclamation. And, you know, I'm on this journey of coming home and, you know, learning the language and learning my culture back. And it was the matriarchs and women in my community that have helped me and guided me back on this journey. So it's sort of an ode to that. And, you know, we're told these stories that, you know, through colonization that they stole the language, they stole the culture. And I don't think that's true. I think that you can come back to it anytime you want and in so many different ways. So this poem is called Welcome Home. What does it mean to be rebirthed from an earth you felt foreign to? Kokum, I think I've learned what it means to come home, homesick for a place I've never known, was taught to learn their maps, not knowing my divine wrinkles and lines were the roads back to my homeland. The ones my ancestors paved the way for, they call it geography, I call it my body. We are not separate. You take the land, you take my livelihood, you take my life away. But we're getting our culture back, Kokum. As if she was ever really lost, I thought. She was always sitting around fire, keeping my belly in school. As I exhaled through Lord's Prayer, a guttural fiery warrior cry, fighting to be heard over Hail Marys, fighting for me to remember. The soggy thin. Am I saying the language right, Kokum? There's only one way to do it wrong, and it's to not do it at all, she says. Kokum reminds me that the spirit of my culture has always been with me, was with me when I cried, tried to stop tears from falling from eyes, but she told me they were medicine. Was with me when they told us our ceremony was witchcraft, that my skin was too dark, not knowing my darkness was in fact a reflection of theirs, and yes, sir, there's magic in my blood. For my next act, I will cast it away and get the lamp back. She was with me throughout my alcohol and drug addiction. Spirit was called to dance. Ruffled feathers turned to headdress, and by the grace of Creator, I danced and jumped to the drum instead of my own demise. So we dance. For those who no longer can, for Summer, Selena, Teresa, Leah, we dance. We're getting our culture back, Kokum. And she responds, my dear one, she never left. Your language is embedded in your taste buds as deep as a mother's love. Why do you think she is called your mother tongue? Kokum says you have all been here before. Your blood is as ancient as the rivers and mountains themselves, and you wouldn't doubt your elders, would you? You can't abolish or erase something that was written by the cosmos, pre-syllabic written with stardust on pictograph, a galaxy handcrafted our women with sage, sweetgrass, sunflowers, added some zest, made her a little bitter, made her spirit a little louder so she could stand up for her sisters, for her people. So how can you forget what was created by sunset and sunrise? And if you do, every morning you wake up, there she will be, asking you to join her in ceremony. Her existence is ceremony. We're getting our culture back, Kokum. And she responds, she never left. She lives in reflection on river. She is sister, mother, will be a Kokum one day herself. Most importantly, she is you. Most importantly, she is home. My Kokum tells me, welcome home, sisters. just pulling up another poem. This next poem, the first time I actually did a poem for KWIC, for International Women's Day many years ago, my best friend, I was actually working with my best friend, and she told me to write an empowering woman poem. And I have a lot of feisty poems. They're very angry as well. I'm also very angry at many things, but this poem is called, I always share it on International Women's Day. It's just another tribute and ode to all of the powerful women that you are. So this one is called Divine Woman. Divine woman, rest your weary eyes and worries. Set them aside, woman, for an older version of yourself to worry about. You are welcome to step off of the pedestal they have placed you on. Breathe, release the tension in your shoulders, neck, back. The battles will always be there. So unclench your fists and place hands into prayer pose and thank yourself how hard you've worked to get here to this moment. Divine woman, super kind woman, kind of woman who doesn't take too kind to people, tell her to be kind and neat and smile, please, when she grinds in these capitalist streets so she can feed her babies, who is working so hard to love herself after decades of unsolicited advice, woman who is called every objectifying name in the book, but returns the book to its owner, has never been much of a fiction reader, woman, loud woman. Not a fembot, plot, twist, and twerk and bend for you fantasy, living to appease the male gaze, lying naked underneath willow tree, docile, sweet, submissive, whispering, never yelling, cooking, never burning bridges. Expected to do it all woman, but she doesn't feel full off these capitalist calories. She has a hunger for community, for connection, was born in a system that fed her lies. She's a more than enough woman. They gave her a manual on how to be a good, real woman. If they want to pluck and wax off all her realness, put her on a diet, tone her voice down, but she knows she's a goddess, and no goddess would dare remove parts of herself, make herself less goddess-like. Divine woman, beautiful mind, woman, not a forget-me-not, but a woman you remember. She is a whole fire, not just the embers kind of woman. Her body cells are derived from pre-colonial contact, cannot be owned or told what to do. Her parts are not a reference point for abuse or patriarchal profit. She's a prophet of poetry, of self-love, of raging against the system that covers her breath as if it exposed its secret, makes them uncomfortable seeing it in a baby's mouth, but not of its wrapped in Victoria's Secret. And divine woman knows that to heal from the patriarchal melting pot is to get out of the pot, is to stir the pot, knows that it is not enough to say sorry or not all men, is to unlearn sexism rooted in colonialism, is to provide reparations, is to love all women, to respect all women. That's trans women, disabled women, gay women, straight women, fat women, skinny women, loud women, quiet women, masculine women, sexual women, asexual women, not your women, Black women, Indigenous women, to acknowledge your existence is because of women. This is for the women who want to have kids, the women who don't, the married women, the women who won't, working moms, moms that don't work, the women who wear makeup, and the ones that have made up their minds that their freckles are too fine to cover. Not hard to find woman, because she's listening to this poem right now. I see you, divine woman. And so please stop placing her on a pedestal. She will always desecrate it, set it to flame. She exists to exist and doesn't need to make it pretty. She isn't merely a vibe, but a whole frequency that radiates love, magic, womanhood, and divinity. Miigwetch.
It's always just such an honor to have you here, and I've heard that poem many times now, and it has the same and different every time. It's just fabulous. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you to everybody who made this possible, everybody who's been here all day supporting. We appreciate you all.